Walk into a spa or even the beauty section at your local store and cucumbers are everywhere in soaps, lotions, facial cleansers, and of course we all know that cucumber slices are great to reduce the puffiness of your eyes. You might get the impression that this refreshing fruit is not for eating, but trust me, there are just as many uses for the cucumber in the kitchen as there are when it comes to skincare. I'm Chariton. On this episode of Iowa Ingredient, we'll visit Blue Gate Farm in Chariton to see how one farmer grows cucumbers. Then Chef Brandy Leuders, a.k.a. the Grateful Chef, will stop by our studio kitchen to share a few unique recipes using this tasty food. All that and more coming up next on Iowa Ingredient.
Funding for Iowa Ingredient is provided by the W.T. and Edna M. Dahl Trust, Chef Lisa Laval of Trellis Cafe and the River Center, and Chef Michael Laval of the Des Moines Embassy Club. For more than 100 years, the Des Moines Embassy Club has provided a place to dine, celebrate, and do business, located in downtown Des Moines and in West Des Moines. And the Friends of Iowa Public Television Foundation.
There are few ingredients as cool as a cucumber. Its mild, refreshing flavor makes it perfect for salads. It's a great flavor enhancer for drinks. And of course, the cucumber is the king of pickling. We don't call them cucumber pickles, we just call them pickles. It also grows fast and easily. One garden can produce an embarrassment of cucumbers in the heat of the summer. And best of all, a cup of cucumber only has 16 calories, so you can eat this food to your heart's content. The refreshing cucumber has been cultivated for at least 3,000 years, originating in India. It's a member of the gourd family, along with melons and squash. Jill Bebout and her husband, Sean Skehan, operate Blue Gate Farm near Chariton. They sell 70 different varieties of fruits and vegetables, including cucumbers, at the Des Moines Farmers Market and to their CSA customers.
The farm has been in our family for about 4 generations. I had zero interest in farming as a kid. This was kind of heart home. I loved to come and spend time here and rummage about in the timber and the fields, but I was a suburb kid. I wanted to do theater and the arts and went out and did those things for a long time and then decided that Iowa was a nice place to come home to.
Cucumbers grow on a long, creeping vine. They'll sprawl along the ground without supports, or they'll use their thin, spiraling tendrils to grab a trellis.
Sometimes the cucumbers won't grab onto the trellis themselves, so as we go along, we like to tuck them in. These are our suyo longs, which is a long Asian cucumber. They can grow more than 2 feet long, but at that point they're more chicken feed than they are people food. But 14 to 18 inches is their prime size. They're a burpless and seedless cucumber, and they're excellent for slicing. They're probably my number one favorite. They're a nice sweet flavor.
All cucumbers have green skin, soft white flesh, and edible seeds. They're technically a fruit, but are most often eaten as a vegetable. They're categorized in 3 ways: slicing, pickling, and burpless.
The original style cucumbers tended to cause a little bit of gas. They would make people burp. So that's one of the things that you'll see in seed catalogs is cucumbers listed as burpless.
Cucumbers can grow very quickly and abundantly in Iowa. But because of pest and disease pressure, the reality is a very short season for many growers.
There are some very distinctive pests that cause us problems. There's the striped and the spotted cucumber beetles and squash bugs. It can happen very fast, so we tend to plant a high volume and get them going as well as we can and inundate our CSA members and our farmers market customers with as many cucumbers as possible early, because we're going to lose them. All right, ladies, you want to go harvest some cukes?
For Jill and Sean, growing cucumbers is worth it because their customers really enjoy them.
It's really fun to have them try for the first time the Suyo long cucumbers, the long Asian ones, or the lemon cucumbers, because they're ones that you don't tend to see in the grocery store. They're a little bit unique looking. I've never had a customer come back after trying a Suyo long and say, no, I'd rather have the smaller, cheaper ones.
It brings so much joy to Jill's heart when their customers share their enthusiasm and when kids get excited about the farm.
I don't think people really understand the return when they're enthusiastic about the product and share what they're doing with it, and that becomes part of your, not just your job, but that becomes part of your family, part of your whole point of doing what you do. And that's really rewarding and makes the really hard days much more worth it.
Brandy Leuders is better known as the Grateful Chef. She conceptualizes, cooks, and packages pre-made meals.
That's it.
The idea is simple. Just stop by the kitchen, pick up your order, and you are well on your way to enjoying an innovative, fresh dinner that's as healthy as homemade.
This is pretty much what happens. We come in and see what we need to do, what needs to be made, and then like making these scones, that's just what I'm doing, is putting together stuff for people who come in today. I have loved to cook ever since I was a little girl. My grandma used to cook a lot. So I would be up at her house and helping her make these meals that she would package up, and she would ship them out, drive them out to all the people in the field every day. And I just was around her with food a lot and just discovered that I just love to cook. I'm not ultimately a huge baker, but this is something that I can totally handle and have a lot of fun making.
Brandy started her food career in Portland, Oregon. After a few years, she moved back to Iowa, where she worked in large-scale food service and local restaurants like Bistro Montage. She later became a stay-at-home mom, and that's when the idea for the Grateful Chef was conceived.
We'll get them in the oven. When I was at home a couple years into being a stay-at-home mom, I had a girlfriend come to me, and she was just desperate. She was like, they just had another child in their family, and she just was not making it to the kitchen. She said they were doing takeout all the time, and she was super stressed about cooking. And so she said, Brandy, will you please make whatever you're making for your own family, and I'll pay you to do it for me? And I was like, sure, no problem. That's easy for me to do. She said, well, I have a neighbor that would be interested. Could you do it for her too? And then it was like a light bulb kind of went off in my head, and I was like, maybe this is a real thing. Maybe people need help with meals. Either they don't know how to cook, or they don't have time or any interest in doing it.
And what started with just a few families has blossomed into a full-fledged business. Brandy makes meals for over 200 families a week.
So how our business works is every week I create a menu, and that goes out to whoever wants to get it. They have about 5 days to get their order in so that they come to us and pick up whatever meals it is they ordered. I usually like to take things that people maybe know about and put a fun spin on it, and that's, really what it's all about for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone can order online, but if you've got the time, the kitchen offers a grab-and-go option where you can sit in a comfortable space and enjoy a fresh-made meal.
We have this great space that people love coming to. We have, I swear, the best customers in town. Everyone comes in here and they're so happy and so kind, and we get amazing feedback weekly. People just write us and they're so grateful that we're around, and they just kind of become our friends.
Thank you. See ya.
Like, honestly, I just love what I do so much that I come in and it's joyful for me to be creating and doing that and share it with people who appreciate it. There really is no better way to be. You know, I'm doing what I love and they're taking it and saying thank you. It's an all-around good feeling thing, and I just love that.
Brandy has created a dining experience that's truly unique. Her love and passion for creating wholesome, fresh, and homemade food is apparent. It's something her customers are indeed grateful for. And now we're here in the kitchen with Chef Brandy. We're going to cook with cucumbers, and what are we gonna make?
Today we are going to make a chilled cucumber and yogurt soup.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds wonderful. So no heat happening
No
here.
heat needs to be involved. Yeah, this
All
is a
right.
perfect summer recipe for when you don't want to turn your stove on, when you have an abundance of cucumbers, when you want to impress your friends with something that they've maybe never had
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
And it
so-
already smells pretty wonderful in
Yeah.
here. So let's get started.
For this particular recipe, I'm going to use one of these English cucumbers.
Okay.
You could use more of the garden variety, which are some of these. You can really use any cucumber you want. If you were to use some of those other ones, you would just want to scrape the seeds out
Right.
inside first. But for the sake of right now and the ease, we're just going to go ahead and use this. So first thing here, we're going to take this cucumber.
And you like to get most of the peel off?
Yes. And then for this recipe, we're gonna put this stuff all in a blender. So we just wanna chop it up in pieces that are easier for the machine to handle.
All right,
And
but you
can
don't
kinda
have to
see
be
with this-
perfect and you don't have to be...
Yeah, you can kind of see the nice thing about this cucumber is there's just not a whole lot of seed you have to deal with, so it's kind of nice. All right, and now along with the cucumbers, I'm just gonna set that right here. I have got some lemon juice, which I already juiced, but
Right.
it would basically be like the juice of 2 lemons that you would just juice, and we're gonna throw that in there with the cucumbers.
Nice.
We're gonna take some dill, nice handful of that, and I've got some fresh parsley also. So we're gonna take a little bit of both of those. We're just gonna use a knife here and give it a little rough chop.
Just again to help it blend up
Yeah,
better?
just to help it blend up better. This recipe actually calls for fresh tarragon, and tarragon is an herb that I find it's not as easy to get access to, so for the sake of this recipe, I just have some dried tarragon.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put a pinch of that dried tarragon in there. We're gonna put a little bit of shallots that I sliced up, a little bit of salt, a little bit of chopped garlic, and then our plain Greek yogurt.
All right. Make it nice and creamy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Now we're going to add some olive oil.
Just to give it some richness?
Yeah. I'll try it again. All right, so the soup is done and we're ready to go. Now, one tip for this is if you have time to make this the day before, the flavors can develop if you can make it and leave it in the fridge
Okay.
overnight.
It just
But
gets better, huh?
It just gets better, yeah.
All right.
So that would be a tip. But for the sake of right now, we're just gonna go ahead and try it because it's still gonna be awesome.
All right, great.
right. So we're gonna pour this into our bowl.
It's so pretty.
It is so pretty, and so, yeah.
And then you dress it up a little bit.
Yeah, and then we're gonna just dress it up with a few things here at the end. So here I've got some extra virgin olive oil. We're just gonna do a fun little drizzle of that. And then we've got some chopped up cucumbers from the same cucumber that I made the soup with.
A little
bit of that
texture.
in there. Yeah. It's kind of like a cucumber gazpacho of sorts.
Yeah.
A little bit of red onion and a little bit of chopped Italian parsley.
Nice.
Black pepper.
Lovely. And now we get to try it?
And now we get to try it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Here you go. That has so much more flavor than I expected it to, really, because I love cucumbers, but they don't have a lot of flavor.
Right.
And the herbs really add a lot, and the tartness of the yogurt really
the yogurt
adds a
and
lot.
the lemon. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so delicious. Chef Brandy, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. I'm so glad I could show you how to make something new with cucumbers.
Yeah. We have another very creative way to use cucumbers. What are we going to make now?
Right now, we are going to make a Thai-inspired cucumber noodle salad.
Nice.
So to get us started, we're going to make a really fun dressing
Okay,
first.
so the cucumbers get to wait.
The cucumbers are going to wait. They're going to be our last thing. So let me just show you here what we're going to make our dressing out of. Here in this bowl, we've got some medjool dates that are already pitted.
All right.
And then we've got some ginger that's chopped up and peeled. And let me just show you here how we do ginger, just in case you're not familiar.
So this is what ginger root
So
looks
this is, ginger root. It's, has some of these knobby things. What I like to do is just use a knife and kind of pull those off. And then I just use my paring knife and just go around like that.
Okay.
And you're just kind of cleaning it up, getting that outside off, because that's tough.
Right.
And then like for this recipe, we're just gonna chop it up just in smaller size pieces.
And you like to use fresh ginger, just a stronger flavor?
Yeah, fresh ginger just has that fresh flavor. I mean, you could use dry
aroma is
ginger, but
wonderful.
it's just, I think there's really something to using the fresh ginger.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of the fresh ginger. So we've got the dates, the fresh ginger, we've got some Dijon mustard, we've got some crushed garlic here, some fresh garlic, and then we've got a lime that we're going to zest and juice into the dressing. So we'll get started with that. We're going to use a food processor to make this.
All right.
We're going to just take some of our dates and throw them in there. And we're going to use some of that fresh ginger. Spoonful of our Dijon mustard. Some fresh garlic. And then we're going to use this zester that I have right here and just go ahead and zest some of our lime directly in there. I'm going to take the lime, I'm going to just cut that in half and go ahead and use my juicer.
All right.
And we'll just juice that
in there.
directly in there, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, we'll use that other half also, thank you. All right, so now we just have a few more ingredients to add. Here we've got some toasted sesame oil.
All right.
And then in here we've got something called liquid aminos. And liquid aminos is just like a soy sauce, but it's actually soy-free and
Okay.
it's gluten-free. So for a lot of people who are looking for that, you can find this in any of your health food stores.
All right, so if that's a concern, but if it's not, soy sauce would work.
Yeah, soy
great.
sauce would be just fine. Yep, so we're gonna go ahead and add that in there. Okay, so now we're going to take the lid off. It looks like it could use a little bit more water, and we're going to add our seasonings to it now. So we're going to add a little bit of water to this.
Okay.
Go ahead and put that in there. We're going to add a pinch of salt.
I can
And we're
already
gonna
smell
add
that yummy sesame
A
flavor.
little spice
All
with this
right.
Korean chili flakes, so that'll be a nice little.
Is this a be careful with this ingredient, or?
No,
No.
not that much. No.
Okay.
I think we'll be all right. Okay, so we're gonna finish this now.
All right, we have a beautiful sauce here, and now it's time to make the noodle part of the dish,
Yes. So
right?
let me show you how we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Now this machine right here is called a spiralizer,
All right.
and it's pretty nifty. It turns a normal vegetable into something really fun.
All right. Oh, wow, cool. And And you didn't peel the cucumber.
I did not peel it for this. We actually want the skin for a little bit of firmness.
Okay.
So now we're going to add the carrots to the top.
Love that color contrast too. The flavor will be good too. But
Absolutely.
It looks pretty.
All right, now we're going to use this dressing that we just made. We're just going to drizzle that around. And now is the fun garnishing part. We've got some pretty cherry tomatoes here. This is just cilantro, chopped cilantro.
Okay.
And then a little bit of our sesame seeds.
Nice. All right,
That's
well,
the dish.
I am ready to try this. Okay. That is so good. And the noodles are just so fresh and light. Chef Brandy, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Older than a sprout, but younger than a baby green. Microgreens are tiny, edible plants best known for garnishing plates at fine dining restaurants. Calvin and Chrissy Thiessen have a dream of providing their own family with the most nutrient-dense food possible. A few years ago, they bought a place on the Iowa-Minnesota border, and before long, Cherry Lane Farm was born.
We were just gonna buy it to do homesteading, so garden, chickens, that kind of thing. And then Calvin talked me into pigs. And then he was reading a lot about urban farming and growing a lot of food in a small area.
We weren't quite sure where we were gonna go. We had an idea of, we wanted to serve chefs in our area. So we started out with meat chickens, quail for their eggs, and we tried microgreens all at the same time. We didn't know exactly what was going to work for us. So we ended up eliminating most of that and got down to microgreens primarily.
We started with a couple trays, and Calvin went around to a few chefs and brought samples. That's how you're supposed to get in with them. So we started off with one restaurant and then a few, and then one of the Hy-Vees approached us, wanting to know if they could get some on the shelves. This summer was the first summer we did the farmers market, so we did a lot of public education with people on what they were, and that helped grow our business as well because more people know what they are now, have tried them. I gave out samples, and so now we have more people hooked on them.
Yep.
Microgreens are grown from the seeds of various herbs, vegetables, and other plants. Unlike sprouts, which are consumed root, seed, stem, and all, microgreens are harvested by cutting just above the soil line. Most varieties are ready for harvest when they have fully developed cotyledon leaves and one pair of small true leaves.
Each microgreen is going to tell you it's ready differently than other ones. Pea shoots, for example, when they get tall enough, the leaves will start to open up a little more, and that's when I like to harvest them. Sunflower, they have a very small window of when you can harvest. If you miss that window, they do not taste good at all. People like them because they got a really nice crunch. It's a great replacement for like a lettuce.
Yeah, it's a really fresh flavor.
Yep.
It's not a strong flavor, it's just very fresh.
It's kind of nutty.
The flavor can be sweet or spicy and is surprisingly intense for such a small plant. The texture can be delicate or crunchy, and they add delicious depth to so many dishes.
We put them on everything.
Yeah, our house is full of microgreens.
Like every single meal.
Yeah.
Breakfast, I love arugula on eggs because of the black pepper taste. We've
Sunflower shoots on tacos.
Yes, that's
really good.
Pea shoots on pizza, arugula on pizza, the herbs on anything.
Oh yeah.
The red cabbage microgreens we like on fish tacos. That's really good.
The Thiessens are loving their life on Cherry Lane Farm, and their business continues to grow. They're looking forward to adding salad greens and other new products to their offerings in the near future.
It's very labor intensive and time intensive, but it's still our life. Nobody else dictates to us when and where, other than they want their delivery on time. But other than that, I mean, it's our life. We're able to spend a lot of time with our son, and that was really important to us. It's one of those things Calvin always says, like, giving somebody a gift is great, but when you give them food, there's something about giving somebody food or cooking something for someone that really makes you feel good. And then we get all this great feedback from our clients that buy from the grocery store, posts of what they made for dinner, and it's such an awesome feeling.
Oh, it is, yep.
That's it for this week's episode. Thank you for sharing some of Iowa's freshest flavors with us. I'm Chariton. See you next time for another mouth-watering episode of Iowa Ingredient. Keep in mind that circumstances are always changing, so please take a moment to check ahead if you're planning to visit a restaurant, farm, or event featured on the show.
Funding for Iowa Ingredient is provided by the W.T. and Edna M. Dahl Trust, Chef Lisa Laval of Trellis Cafe and the River Center, and Chef Michael Laval of the Des Moines Embassy Club. For more than 100 years, the Des Moines Embassy Club has provided a place to dine, celebrate, and do business, located in downtown Des Moines and in West Des Moines. And the Friends of Iowa Public Television Foundation.